All right, so we are back from our 4 weeks overseas. We had the best time hiking with family, exploring beautiful little towns in the UK, hanging by the beach in Portugal, getting lost in the city of London, experiencing the atmosphere of a football game, having the absolute best time. And whilst I was over there, I did no work on my business and I still earned over $5,000. I asked on Instagram if you would like me to share how I've created a business that earns me this much money while I take extended time off, and you guys said yes. So that's what we're going to do today in this video. So we'll go through how my business works, how I make money as a yoga teacher on the internet, and then how you can build your business so that it earns you a passive income as well. I want to preface this video by saying I actually feel really uncomfortable talking about this. A lot of the content that's out there talking about income claims are then to sell you into an MLM or a ridiculously priced business coaching. That is not what this video is about. I just want you to know, as a yoga teacher or someone in a business like yoga teaching where it's really heart-based and you do it for the love of it, that it is possible to still earn a really great income without burning out, without having to do a billion studio classes that are split shifts and take up your whole day, without having to sell your soul to a studio and do all their marketing. Whatever it is possible to earn passive income, and I really want you to know that. Also, a few disclaimers before we get into the how-to. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I've been working on my business for the last 8 years. Definitely not in a full-time capacity. I only ever work about 10 hours or less on my business. My business has always been on the side of having babies, running after toddlers, and now running around after 3 school-aged kids. This isn't an earn 6 figures in 6 weeks situation. This is something I've been slowly and methodically, consistently working on over the last 8 years. And at first I was only earning a little bit of money, and then that has snowballed to the point where I really can take big, long chunks of time away from actively working in the business, and it continues to earn money without me having to do too much at all. I also want you to know it takes a lot of patience. I think there's a real rush in the online space to hustle and do all the things, and it makes me so mad and also a little bit sad to think about how many hormonal mums who really desperately don't want to go back to work, who buy into MLMs or purchase really expensive programs that they can't really afford, or spend their entire maternity leave working on something only to realize that they aren't earning enough money to be able to stay home with their babies, and have wasted all this time or wasted all this money. That's a $1 billion industry selling this idea, and I don't want to be a part of that. So I want you to know it does take patience. What I have grown, this business that earns me money passively, has taken a lot of work, has taken a lot of time and patience, but it is possible. So with all those disclaimers out the way, let's get into what you came here for, how I make money in my online yoga business. So if you are brand new here, welcome. I run an online yoga business and I mostly serve women around fertility, pregnancy, and postpartum. For the most part, my business consists of this YouTube channel. I also have a website where people can purchase my programs and join my membership. In a nutshell, the way I'm able to earn passive income from my business is that everything is automated. So I use online tools like email automation and plugins in my website so that when a sale happens, I don't have to be physically present to make sure that they receive the video. My website does that for me. I've also automated all of my marketing as well, which I'll go into a little bit later. That means I don't have to actively sell on social media. So you'll rarely see me even talking about my products on social media. I'm usually just sharing free, helpful content. It's in my automated emails that you'll get information about what you can actually purchase from me. So let's look at the numbers and where my money is actually coming from. So the number one thing that earns me money in my business is my membership. So this is my online yoga circle. This is a membership site for women who are trying to conceive, who are pregnant, and who are postpartum, and who are wanting to continue their yoga practice. So this is like a library of yoga classes, meditation classes around those different stages of motherhood. So while traveling, my membership made $4,115.50. So at the moment, my membership is 21 Australian dollars. I still have some members still on the original price of $14 per month. And then I have some scholarship members who are paying $10.50. So that's half of the 21. Online memberships are a great way to build passive income as a yoga teacher because you don't have to do constant work around marketing and selling your product. Whereas if you're selling a one-off course or a workshop, you do have to do some sort of regular promotion to get those sales and to receive that money. Whereas hopefully, if I create a really good membership and I create something that my members really enjoy using and coming back to, they'll stay on long term. So once I've made that initial sale, those marketing emails have made me that first sale, they've paid their $21, hopefully they might stay for 3 months, for 6 months, for 12 months, and like those initial members, for around 6 years. Those who are on the $14 have been with me for 6 years. It feels like such an honor to be able to create something that women have continued to pay for and have continued to come back to for that length of time. It means I get to know them, which is really beautiful. And it means it feels like a true yoga community where we're growing together, which I really love. So if you are looking to make a passive income, a membership site is a great way of doing it. Remember though, it is something that needs to build and evolve over time. So it's not entirely passive in that you can just build the product, put it up and sell it multiple times. I'm continuously adding to my membership. So even though over the 4 weeks that we were away, I didn't put any additional videos into my membership, over the past 8 years, I am continually adding new classes and new videos to each of the sections in my membership. So the next way that I make money in my business is through shop sales. So on my website, I have an online shop, and here I sell things like online courses, so my teacher trainings. I have a fertility yoga teacher training and a pregnancy yoga teacher training. I also have a course around building an online business online. And then I have smaller yoga series like yoga for anxiety, yoga for the first trimester, yoga for birth, which people can purchase as one-off purchases if they don't want to sign up to the membership. So sales in my online shop were $1,167, and this is a pretty average amount for shop sales. My shop sales kind of go up and down depending on how much traffic is coming to my website, how much traffic my YouTube channel is getting, how much promoting I'm doing on social media. So some months are huge and heaps of sales are coming in through my shop. Other months, not much at all. My membership stays pretty steady and grows pretty steadily, but my shop sales can vary quite widely. The reason I put in a shop as opposed to just having the membership and just directing people there is because some people don't like to sign up to a membership because it's an ongoing payment. If you're just looking for one specific thing and you can just buy that one specific thing, sometimes that's an easier choice for people and an easier sale. So I do have the option that if you just want to pay one payment, you don't have to think about signing up for a membership and then perhaps canceling it later. You can just sign up, get that product for a higher price, and not sign into the membership. I also make a little bit of money from Google AdSense. So these are the ads that YouTube puts before the video, sometimes in the middle of the video, and sometimes at the end of the video. And I get a small amount of money for each of those ads that are played. I'm talking like cents in the dollar here. So for the month that we were away, I made $407.50. So it's not a lot of money, but for something that feels like an additional extra, like I don't have to physically place the ads there, I just tick the box that say, yes, you can monetize this video. I don't choose the ads, I have no control over them, but it sort of feels like a bit of an extra. I'm putting videos up on the internet anyway because that is the engine behind my business and how I get traffic to my website and make my sales and connect with my audience. So I'm doing that anyway. So this little bit of pocket money from Google AdSense feels like a nice little bonus. I also make a little bit of money from the book that I wrote. So a couple of years ago, I self-published the book Watering the Flowers, A Guide to Find Healing and Hope After Losing a Baby. And I published this on Amazon, and I don't have to do anything around printing, shipping, customer service. Amazon handles all of that, and each month I get some royalties from them. So during the month that we were away, I made $100.25. Again, it's not a huge amount of money, but it is something that is truly passive. I've done the work once, I wrote the book years ago, and I don't really have to do anything to make that money. Of course, from time to time, I make content that sends people in that direction, shares the link, tells them about it, and that might increase how many sales I get. But on the whole, I earn a little bit of money from this each month without having to do anything to actively earn that money. All right, so the question you might be having is, how do I earn this money passively? Like I said at the start, it all comes down to automation. So let's talk through how my business works from the start to the end. So from when a customer finds me and how I get them to see my content, because obviously I'm not on social media all the time posting about my content. I do use Instagram usually when I'm not on holidays to share about the videos that I've created and say, hey, this video is in the circle, or this video is up on YouTube, or if I write a blog post, I'll share about it on Instagram. But that probably makes up about 10% of what I post on Instagram. Most of the time what I share on Instagram is just personal life stuff, reflections on motherhood. There's not a whole lot of strategy going into my Instagram. Could I make more money if I did? Possibly, but I just don't really enjoy the Instagram space and the social media need to constantly post stuff all the time. That kind of stresses me out, makes me not really want to do it. Whereas I do enjoy posting weekly to YouTube, building this community here, and I like that it's more of a long-term game. Because YouTube is a search engine, I can put up a video today that mightn't get that many views today, but in 10 years' time, it might have 1 million views because it gets picked up in search and found regularly for the search terms that I'm writing for. So that feels like a better use of my time. So I focus more on that type of marketing than social media marketing because it is more long-term. Instagram posts might last a day. People are probably unlikely going to see them after a day, but my YouTube stuff will be found for many years later. How does my audience find me? They either find me through YouTube or through Google, and this is through search content. I don't use any paid ads. Fun story, way back in the very start of my business, I tried to do some Facebook advertising and I got banned for talking about fertility and my ads account got shut down. And rather than giving up or trying to start another account and doing it again, I kind of took this as a sign, okay, that's not the path for me, and I didn't follow up with Facebook advertising. I'm quite grateful now because I do believe Facebook advertising is a whole lot more expensive to get the same results you used to get back then. Instead, I've grown a business that works based around SEO or search engine optimization. So what I do is I create content for either YouTube or for my website that can be found and will be found in search based on the keywords that I use and the things that I talk about. So because my business is around fertility, pregnancy, and postpartum, everything I write and share and talk about is around those topics. So I'm building a body of work that helps to get me found in search based on those things. So whilst I was away enjoying my holiday with my family, people were typing into search, how do I practice fertility yoga? Or what can I do for this? And they were finding blog articles, YouTube videos, information that I have shared previously, my own story, other women's stories. And so from there, they were clicking into doing a yoga class with me or a meditation and getting to know who I am as a person and the work that I share. And that is without me having to promote anything because it's all working organically through search. From there, once you've gotten to know me a little bit, hopefully you like what I'm sharing, you'll be invited to download one of my free guides. So I've created a guide around fertility yoga, pregnancy yoga. I've created guides for yoga teachers and then also around creating a business because these are all helpful to my audience and link directly to the things that I am offering as a paid offering. So in return for downloading these free guides, I ask for an email address. I then send a series of automated emails around the topic. So for instance, they've signed up for the free fertility guide. They'll get an email every 5 days or so offering more free content. So it might be a yoga class, it might be a meditation, it might be a little bit about my story and what I found helped. And over the course of months, I will occasionally tell them about a paid offering. So I'll tell them about my membership where you can join the online yoga circle. I'll tell them about my course, which will help them do this. And that is how I sell. I offer a lot of free content. So if you don't ever purchase from me, great, you can still get a lot because there is so much free stuff out there. But for those who want to go a little bit deeper or have what you will do next or what you'll consume next more well organized, because I organize my courses into modules and things like that, those people can purchase from those emails. And now I haven't had to do anything physically active in that process. Someone has found my content through search, they've signed up to get the freebie, my email responder sends that freebie, signs them into the list, those pre-written emails that I've written over the course of years. So once a week when I create a piece of content, I also put it as an email in that list. It delivers it without me having to do anything. So from my email, someone can click over onto my website, they can look at the products that are on offer, they can look at my membership and they can sign up, get signed up, get their login, get all that information delivered to them without me having to actively do that. And that's because the way that I've set up my website with plugins, it does it all automatically for me. Yes, that sounds like a lot of moving parts, and I totally get that. When I first started, I remember that feeling of overwhelm of like, that's a lot of tech knowledge. Like I'd never built a website before I started my online business. And I started learning about websites 10 years ago before all of these amazing tools that we have now that make it really easy. You can just drag and drop, boom, you've got a website in a couple of hours. I spent so much time late into the night learning how to make a website from scratch. It is so much easier now. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the amount of technology you need, know that there are so many more great online tools that can do so much of this work for you. But what I think you need to remember is you don't have to do it all at once. And this is what I walk you through in my course Presence, which is all about how to build this business online, is you start really small. You start testing your product idea and your audience and the problem that you're trying to solve, and see if you can get some interest there and see if you can get some feedback from your audience. Use the most simple option at first to receive money. So that might be a bank transfer to test your idea. Once you've got it working, then you can build out these systems behind it that will do the work for you. And that's really how I started. The way that I received money at the start was so simple and basic. And I've built out these systems and learnt, oh, I can put this plug in that will do it all for me. And oh, I can put into this little section an email response so I don't have to actually email anyone when a sale comes through, and it will do it automatically for me. And I slowly built the automated series that sells all my products. I didn't do any of this overnight. And this is why I want you to know it takes time, because I think when we put that pressure on ourselves to make 6 figures in 6 weeks, which is utter bullshit anyway, when we don't do that, we give up. Instead of realizing, if this is truly the work I want to be doing, and that's truly what I want for my life, some sort of passive income, then it is worth spending 10 years building that. Imagine what life will look like in 10 years' time, especially if you're at home now with little babies. In 10 years' time, when you're doing the school mum thing like I am, but you're able to actually be present and not have to rush off to work in the morning. You can choose how you spend your time. And even if that choice is to rush off to work as well, but be able to do this on the side in your spare time and have this pay for all the extras, have this set you up for retirement, mean you can retire early, mean you can go on those extravagant holidays. What a blessing that will be. So don't fall for the trap of thinking you need to make money like that. Let this be a body of work that you work on. And I can guarantee that when you look at it that way, and when you play the long game around creating searchable content that you put systems around, you're going to build a sustainable business that will earn you passive income instead of going for the quick buck, which is social media. You can absolutely do both, and if you love being on social media, then go for it, but also make sure you do that behind the scenes work so that if you do decide to travel, or you do want to go on maternity leave, or you do just need to take some time off, then you can do that as well. I do also want to recognize that these tools do cost money. So even though I earned over $5,000, there was some cost associated with running the business over that month. I also want to acknowledge that this is a pre-tax amount. So I don't get all of that money in my pocket. I also have to pay a percentage of that to the government as tax. So if you are wanting to start creating some passive income, where the hell do you start right now? If you're a yoga teacher, I honestly recommend start with creating something you can offer in an online space. So whether that be your signature workshop or a series of yoga classes, I would have it related to something you're really passionate about. So for me, if I had started my business back when I was really into doing handstands, I don't think I would still be as passionate about writing and creating content about it. But because I made it about fertility and pregnancy and postpartum, number one, it's quite broad. I have a lot of things to say in those areas, but I'm also still living it. I'm still working in this space. I still work with women one-to-one around fertility and pregnancy. I'm still connected to it, and I still feel like it's really important. So pick something that you are going to be able to feel connected and passionate about for a long time, which I know can be tricky when you're first getting started. But in order for a business based around search to work, you do need to create a substantial amount of content around it so that you can become known as the expert in that area. And then once you've come up with what you're going to create this offering on, honestly, the best thing you can do is start trying. Start creating those videos. Film on your iPhone, see what it looks and sounds like, and then see if you can make it better. Dive into all the free content that you can get your hands on. I have a lot on my channel around how to film better, tips and tricks for what you should film with, how to make the lighting look good, how to make the audio sound good, and just start working towards it. You won't know what you need to ask until you start down that road. If you have any specific questions along the way, put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them there. If you want to be walked through it step by step, someone to hold your hand, someone to show you all the moving pieces and kind of give you a guide for how to get started, I'll also leave the link to my course Presence below. So that will step you through from coming up with the idea to how you're going to market. So are you going to create a podcast? Are you going to get on YouTube? Are you going to write blog articles? what will be best for you and best to market whatever it is that you're trying to sell. So if you do want some help with that, I'd recommend signing up for Presence. And I just want to remind you, it does take hard work and patience, but it is honestly worth it. If this is the work that you feel inspired to do, just do a little bit every day or every week, and little by little that work will snowball until you've got something that will work for you. And that's where I'm currently at. And I feel so grateful to have a business that works for me and I can take breaks away from it, but also that I enjoy and love working on. I could not wait to get back to it. I was on the plane on the way home writing all my ideas down, and that is the amazing thing about being able to take a break from your work and not feeling burnt out by it, is that when you do take that break, it's like whew, all the ideas come in, and I just can't thank you enough for being here and making this possible for me. So please, please, please do not give up because it's not a quick fix. Start working on something that is meaningful for you. And as we tell our students in our yoga classes, have some patience, take a breath, and good things are coming. Thanks for being here.